Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And how are you today in this? Not so nice, right? Because last night we have a sell-off, and many of you would have known it's because of this coming Thursday, where we have whether the budget 2021 will be approved. So we have that big sell-off despite what we've seen on Dow Jones finally clocking above 30,000 now. That's right. The US are doing well. The Malaysian, as I said before, going forward, in coming this December, we are still kind of concerned. Why? Because general election 15 is on the table. Now, you know, that's why a lot of foreign funds stand here. Now, we all remember GE14. That memory is still in many of us, isn't it? We bought some of those, government-linked stock because we thought Najib could have won and say what happens. But this round, what do you think, right? Now, thank you for watching. Many of you are watching in here, and that's what we are going to be experiencing inside. And of course, we also hope that you could share this video in your timeline. I hope my audio is coming you okay. Now, some of you are going to ask me, Inari, please type it in there. The earliest bird is going to get the stock review, Inari in there. And as I said before, many of those stocks are selling off. But like it or not, I think Inari, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, they did come out with a good performance, EPS earnings because of the 5G as well as the radio frequency products that they are selling. More of that, we will look at the Inari, but let's look at some of you may have some question in here if you want to ask me, particularly on the stock. But today, let's go on to what we have stored with you with the breakfast show, Trading Ideas with SMARTRobie. That's right. All right. So let's move on to what we have in for you in store. Now, today is Wednesday. That's right. It's Wednesday, and that's why we are doing the intermediate level, right? It seems that a beginner level, everybody say, hey, it's so boring, beginner level, nothing much. We always talk about trading plan, but that is important, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because that is where you want to build a strong foundation. As I said before in many of my classes and my talk, you need that strong foundation if you're going to be making money. Now, going forward, I'm very bullish about the US market. As I said before, if you've been following some of my talk on Wednesday, that is a very good resounding idea behind that. We've seen the Obama era in the 2006 going forward to Donald Trump, and now we have Biden. Hopefully maybe for 2 terms, maybe for 4 terms, we don't know. But we do know that Biden is 78, 76 years old. Another 4 term maybe pay a lot or two. But never having said that, I think it's important for you to build that access. If you continue to follow our program, Volume Spread Analysis with SMARTRobie, you will not be left out with what I've just posted today. Some of those trending stock we have, the last 2 episodes, I will show you them done pretty well. But today, intermediate level, we're talking about trending stocks, which you will see here. Let me just bring up the trending stock. Let me just switch it over. I'll show you what we're talking about. So trending stock is on the left-hand side. It's on the top right-hand button. You can see trending stock, which actually what we are looking at. And also going to look at the chart setup as well as some sentimental news for today. All right, let's move on what we have for you today in our news segment. That's right, in our news segment for Bursa headline, this is what we are talking about this morning. Now, like it or not, Malaysia is heading into an aging group. Now, this news report on Star Business today particularly talk about that 7% of our population will age to 65, and 55 to 65 is going to be, employment's going to be low. Bottom line, here's the message. If you are aging into a certain age, and I hope you don't, you will be faced with many financial challenges. Am I correct, right? And that's why you are here trying to watch this video and make some sort of sense. Hey, Martin, I have this sum of money from my EPF money, how can I invest it better? So should I speculate? Should I trade on penny stock? Or should I just follow those sifu or those uncle in Facebook? What should I do? Bottom line is, I always say, it's always best to get an education. Even what I teach you, you should always question what is the motive behind it. I think that's important, isn't it? Because my point is to question everything. And when you question everything, you say whether this is a smart money, then you'll be a best judge to it. If what I say this makes sense, if I say, man, give me a thumbs up. Because I think it's also important, and I see many people coming to a certain age really struggling. Now, I pick up investment at a much later stage. As I said before, even on the value growth investing course that I talked about last week, all of us should start investing very, very young. If you have children, get them started at 17. Even my son, I'm trying to get him open account when he is 18 years old to get him into the mood, of investing. You don't wait until you're 30 or 40 years old. As a matter of fact, it's even get worse when you feel like, hey, I'm out of job. Maybe now I learn how to invest. It does happen. And when you get to that, then you have this, quick run to the finishing line, and that's not very good. And that's what this article highlighted it. Right? It looks very, very bleak. Hope you get that message. Now, let's move on to the next news that we have, which is the glove. Continue. There are a lot of the seafood out there are still touting glove, and glove there's always they talk about, but there are many, many more. We at Trade VSA and also with SMARTRobie, we always talk about sector rotation. Now, those of you who have subscribed to our Trade VSA package, and I think you should, if you have a chance, if you want to upgrade, we have a sector analysis in there, which I usually cover on tonight. That's right, tonight is Wednesday night, and I have prepared something for you, which I will talk about is green energy sector. That's right, with Biden winning, we've talked about that. What are those stocks we're talking about? Many of you may know, some of you know, but we will go through it tonight at 9:30. So make sure you catch me at 9:30 and spread that good news around, because I'm going to share with you some insights on what we think about the green energy movement in Malaysia. Perhaps maybe another time I'll do the US market. But on this news-wise, we are talking about Supermax now. What it is basically saying, Supermax, Top Glove, Hartalega, they've all been added into our KLCI weightage. That means, that's why when you see Top Gloves sell off yesterday, right, because of the Teratai cluster, more than 1,000 over. Malaysia for the first time hit 2188. Even I was watching behind me, the Singapore news channel Asia, they were talking about Teratai cluster. Tonight or this evening when we see it, what do you think? Will we hit another record high? And many of them coming from Top Glove. Now, remember what we have seen in Singapore, even the dormitory, right? We have many clusters in there. They hit a peak inside there. I think in many similar way, our country will do what the Singapore did with all the foreign workers, lock them up in the room there and let the virus burn out. Is this what you're going? But I did got some picture from my WhatsApp and also from Facebook that we have all these workers are climbing through the wall, isn't it? That's very, very funny, right? For Malaysia. What do you think of that one, right? So that is what we are seeing right now here, and this is the manner where we eat. So like having said that, these glove stocks, right, will add a lot of weightage. So it will add a lot of volatility to our market in here. The old school, the old sector, the financial services will gradually reduce in here, and then get more and more weightage. This is no different, to be frank with you, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new normal where our KLCI will have more growth stock in that case, glove sector. Just look at the S&P 500. It is heavy on the FANG side. Right? Remember, I talked about that on the value investing growth last Saturday too. All right, let's move on to our next story. Now, next story is about capital gain tax, which is on the mind of the idea which is pitched out by the head of income, this IRD, Income Tax Department. Bottom line, what he's saying, look, no money, the government, we spend so much. Of course, some of you will say politicians overuse the money. Where got money, mau cari lubang, but they are already talking about bringing back the GST. What do you think? Is the GST coming back? Let me know what you think. GST, is the GST coming back, right? Now, there's a lot of talk about GST, tak cukup also. So this article talk about the mixed reaction to bringing in something that you and me, we are not happy. Capital gain tax, that's right, capital gain tax on stock. So imagine stock market going higher and higher, and where all the smart money making money, which I talk about, didn't pay income tax. But guess what? They have to pay income tax now. So they have to pay income tax. You and me have to pay income tax like the US. Not so good, isn't it, right? So why is that? And this article talk about possibility of getting back around 1.9 billion every year from the capital gain tax on share, because currently only real property gain tax are only on building and land and housing when you sell it in here. But stocks, not a good idea too. Yeah, that's right. I totally agree with you in here. But that's where we are planning for. But do take note, these things do change. There's nothing much we can do. Probably living in Malaysia, capital gain tax, right, in there. So next one is AirAsia. Okay, so AirAsia came out with the quarterly reports in here. They did say that, look, revenue goes up, but the net loss for the quarter still widened to 851 million compared to 51 million. Bottom line is, it is a slow recovery coming in for AirAsia. That's right, AirAsia. Now let's look at AirAsia. Having said that, and you see whether this is a stock that is worthwhile or not. What do you think? Is this worthwhile to get into AirAsia? Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. Type it in there. All right. Now, all said being said, AirAsia, this is where we are. It's still yellow trend zone. That means shouldn't take it up. And some people say, hey Martin, this thing jumps up. Why didn't we see the green pentagon? Again, typically when we see ultra high volume and widespread bar, that is a no-no, all right? And that's why we don't see the green pentagon. It is how the pentagon has been trained to look at this, because Tom always tell me, Martin, when you try to buy on ultra high volume, or the technical analysis for the Japanese, they call it morubuzu, you will get into trouble in here. So having said that, this is today. Let's look at the AirAsia stock price today. It should be up to this morning, right? And yes, 8.5%, because based on this news, okay, so it's 8.5% in here. Now, if you do get AirAsia, having said that, you are, want to, it's not a bad play, having said that, but you will be subjected to a lot of volatility. There are much better other stocks that we talk about it, especially tonight, where at the end of the day, this is how you perceive yourself. You want to bet on the horse that is broken down, is coming back, is repairing itself, you understand it better, which is not a bad idea too. Or you want to bet a horse that is running or not. My take is bet on both sides. But if you have limited amount of resources, you can only do one or other, then get the fact first. Okay, get the fact first. Look at AirAsia, you look at the news. Okay, let's look at the news here. It should be positive. Let's hit on the AirAsia news. Right, you can see in here, net losses widened to 851 million. We know about that. That is why SMARTRobie able to pick it up for you in here. So looking positive. Okay, net one widened in here. 7 stars for health reviewing investment, hint on possible exits. You can see SMARTRobie are detecting element of positive into the news of what we've seen so far. All right, let's move on to our next news that we have here is CPO. That's right, CPO is well supported. Having said that, it's going to be around the range of 3,300 and 2.4. That's what last week we talked about. TSH on our stock pick, which we're going to look at. TSH is a plantation stock. So sometimes if you notice some of the stocks that I pick, again, on trending stocks or Pentagon stocks on premium alert, we normally call a sync in with the news that we see. So that way you have the sector rotation. So if the sector is getting strong, your shares tend to bubble up. And that's what actually happened to TSH. We will look at it later. Now, some of you did say that how was that? You want to look at Inari and VDAT. Yeah, thanks, Jerry, in here. So those are the stocks we're going to be looking at. Now, let's move on to what we have for you is the US market. Now, no doubt about it, early on, even before the Joe Biden election win that we've seen, or President-elect, we'll talk about, many of you, audience, do agree with me. You're saying that Dow will hit 30K. Now, the question was, I was thinking was only maybe next year, January. So far it's already hit, right? So those of you who are coming for our December intake, make sure you come back and listen what we in store for you. Learn a couple of new strategies that, by this December, we get the Christmas rally, which you usually get. You can cover back a lot of the losses that you made during the COVID-19. Isn't that a great idea? If it's a great idea, give me a thumbs up. I think that's important too. What we want to see, we have a market opportunity right now. Now, the question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to hey, see first lah? See first, a lot of people are like that, when they see opportunity, they see money on the street, they say, I see first lah, I see first. Don't be like that lah. I mean, this is where we want to teach you to be money, especially our next generation, the children one. The children that we have now are really dung sometimes. This is where if you have children, teach them how to spot opportunity. Especially my generation, my father, they kind of teach me, but sort of lost that art, So right now, we want to bring it to your children. Do I say this makes sense? I think so, right, too. So again, what we want to do is to really bring them into the picture. No, the stock market going forward, if you've seen how I've been presenting, it's going to go higher. No doubt you need to avoid some of those losses that you've seen, right? That's why we have stop loss, we have exit strategy, and you have Robie. That's going to be helping it. But more importantly is to get into this understanding about the market, because we need another source of income, right? Right now with the COVID-19, you have seen, right? Those people are badly hit. You can see SME, restaurant business, all kena whack. Am I correct? No? So this is why we need to do slightly different in here. I hope you get my message too for today. Now, let's look at the stock news that we have since on Wednesday. It's intermediate. We should check out the stock news. Here it is. Let me just get back to the main news. So just hit up KLCI in here. Now you can see the news is certainly very, very positive. Okay. Now I'm just going to go back previously in here where I talk about the news. It does has in here. So you can see Dayang is very positive. KGB, right? Now we've seen KGB on the left hand side in here. KGB, let me just shift it up. This one here, KGB raised earning outlook on Kellington. That is on November 25th, which is actually today. So that's why you probably see KGB. Let's see KGB today. All right. We know KGB is one of the stock case study, isn't it? After on Saturday. Okay, it's up 4%. Okay. Now it's kind of interesting because on Saturday when we do our value investing course, last Saturday we talked about KGB being a sumo, right? You guys know what is sumo, right? SUMU, right? Remember that sumo? Please learn that term. That term is going to make you a lot of money, right? Am I correct? No, those sumo. So KGB, so we talk about it, and then suddenly the thing pop, just up 10-14%. And I had it for a lot of my clients. I think my average price is about 90 cents. So it's kind of getting double about it. I think the whole issue here is able to, ride on that. Even the next stocks, when we talk about it, review, we'll see it. But more importantly, you want to see how's the background behind it, and what are the process going into it. You just don't want to buta follow. Understand why the chart behave it is. Of course, an opportunity for you is to follow my colleague Zac and also Arif every weeknight 9:30. That's right, 9:30. And last night Zac actually did one with Shafiq from the stock beat to have some sort of combining different methods of technical analysis as volume spread analysis. That will be a treat, especially for those of you too in here. So so we're done up with the news. So news, if you look back, is certainly quite very positive. You can see there, and that's good, going forward in here. But as talk about the general election 15, that's right, it's going to be happening. They probably announced in December, and the election is going to be in March. And we have seen that March seems to be that time frame. Again, hopefully by March, the COVID-19 is sort of, brought it down to a manageable level in here. I've just heard on the news too that massive vaccination in US context, US context, not the Malaysian context, will be only available in May and July next year, 2021. So which means if you go on the GE15 election next year, March, I'm setting up for that too. It's going to be a COVID environment in here. It's going to be quite interesting to see whether we have the Sabah election brought so much in there. What do you think? Do you think that next year, March, is going to, because Muhyiddin, that's right, this coming Thursday, which is tomorrow, the budget 2021, will it be approved or not in here, that tabling it? So let's look at the highlight of episode 2 and episode 5, where we talk about the intermediate trade idea on the 4th and 11th of November. Early on, we talked about TSH because of the CPO prices. It's up 16%. That was a pick on 4th of November. So what I'm trying to say right now is 25th. You got to allow a bit of time. I know many of you are quite fast. I pick it out. Wow, shoot, must go up 10%. Sometimes don't be like that lah. Sometimes you give it a bit time. Even you cook rice also have to give time, isn't it? Cook chicken, right? You cook your favorite beef, also slow cook, isn't it? No fast food, right? So that's similarly the same. So Deleum has picked up too because of the oil and gas is coming back. And also the green energy is coming back. Everything is coming back, isn't it? Right, then we have Mudajya up 23, but Maybulk, which is a transportation, up 38% for that. Let's look at those stocks that we have for you in here. Now let's do the first one. Now this is basically the real-time version of our trading view chart. Now those of you may not be familiar or you have not subscribed to it, and those of you who done and came in through our 11/11 sales, you are in for a trade, and this is what you will see. This is a real-time chart, as you can see right now. Just want to show you what I have, bring it up in here. And the first one we have just now was, let me just bring it, was THS. So THS, just type it here, and remember this was 4th of November, okay? Okay, THS, so 4th of November in here, And this is where it came, okay? It hit about 16%. That's how I saw it. And we have the big sell-off in here. Okay, let me just want to show you this part even before. The point is, when the trending stock is the 4th of November here. Okay, let me just blow it up. What I want to show you here is this part in here before the volume came in. And this is actually always the signature. You have a low volume accumulation. Again, intermediate, you'll notice the volume sort of just dies off a bit. I will show you on the schematic chart of the next one. So this is what so all your, basically all your other traditional indicator, you will not see it. So you only see on price, okay? Market will sort of move on, be a couple of tests inside here. The first one is the green pentagon. So try to buy on the green pentagon, maybe the next buy in here, or you follow the trading plan, whatever the case is. That is very important. And you can see here, you can see this is where the base and this base is supported. All the charts, TSH, Deleum, Mudajya, Maybulk, and even the two stocks that I'm going to pick for you after this, all very, very similar, exhibit the same kind of pattern. And that's what you want to be in. So make sure you get the green pentagon. So this is where you get the green pentagon, and then the market start to move up, and you can see volume start to come in inside. I will talk about the volume of each on Friday session where it is more advanced in there. But here, the intermediate one, what you want to do is just keep an eye on the low volume accumulation. They kind of like move sideways like a snaky kind of thing, okay? That's what you're looking for. And in between, you get some sign of strength. In here, you got one test, and then finally, the line change comes, okay? Test and line change, we're going to talk about it next. Okay, so that's how we get the 60 minutes. So next on my list is Deleum, which I think on Monday, some of you did ask me to. You may have bought it, and you're running it. And again, this was on the 4th of September. Okay, there's one in here. I'm still running up nicely in here. Now, Deleum has a different approach. It came right at the bottom in here. Again, volume also dipped down. Let me just try to bring this up, okay? A different kind of approach. It came straight down. This is another variation of the accumulation. You can see in here, volume dips down. You got a lot of upthrust. Then what we call the takeout of the upthrust. Now, remember, especially our trade viewers, when you see UT, don't get panicked first. All upthrust, UT, upthrust, need to be confirmed, okay? So in this case, you can see we got one confirmation here, but the next one, upthrust, we have the takeout of the upthrust, which is something that we talk in our master class, the very powerful takeout of the master. Now again, those of you who have joined our Trade VSA plugin package, you may not get the full command of the course, so we highly recommend you to come for the master class where we can able to explain everything. Else, you know, when the market start to go up like this, you're trying to figure out, hey, how this thing work, because the instruction comes in the masterclass in here. But having said that, if not, you can still follow us along this. So this is how that 23% move from the 4th of November going up, okay? And that's where we are. Okay, let me see if there's any more news that you guys are asking me. Okay, budget vote postponed, lousy budget. Oh, budget postponed. Oh, okay, that's interesting too. Okay, something I also learned too. All right, so let's look at the next one. Mudajya, and another stocks. Again, this was picked on the 11th of November. Okay, and if you look back, this is 11th of November. You can see that, and we'll look at that one. So let me just take this out of the way first, and you can see. Because that's how, so 11th of November was somewhere here. Okay, 11, then you enter here. You could have gone up. Okay, how I just dragged this up to here, roughly about 21%. It's gonna climb up in here. Now the question is, do you want to take profit now? Always have a specific target. If you can get 30%, take it. Or learn what we teach you, take partial profit. But then if you only buy 1,000 ringgit, what to do? Correct, no? All right. So the key thing is, if you've never been trained, you always want to buy 1,000 ringgit. That's too small, ladies and gentlemen, too small, right? And you get into trouble. End up you buy so many things, you can, because that's always it. Because if you're not well trained, right, and you pick things from this seafood, that seafood, and you come to a show, you have a little bit of everything. Guess what? That is a recipe for disaster. Am I correct? Right. So I always find that it's good to have a proper set of things. You may pick it up a lot from YouTube too, but remember the following it in here. Because at the end of the day, you're only responsible to yourself, right? So pick the right thing, do the right thing in here. Now, more importantly, if the market is going up, you want to win more consistently. When the market is going down, you want to lose, but lose less. You will still lose, Okay, but when the market going up, you don't want to win too much that it causes a lot of volatility on your portfolio. Then you get carried away by your emotion, isn't it? Right? Wow, I win a lot, I win a lot. Don't do that, ladies and gentlemen. I think you'll probably understand what I'm talking about in here. All right. Okay, I got some banking sector returns too low. Yes, always. That's right, Jerry. Banking sector is always going to be slow. Okay, that's why. Remember, the banking sectors are just returning partly due to the U.S. correction that we're seeing, where the value are coming back in here. Have a bit of exposure, but don't have too much, depending on your profile. So always start with what's your strategy? What is your portfolio strategy? Just like if you're going to play any games, okay, or what you call the apa itu, the paint what's that, shooting one, you know, the shooting up paintball. That's right, the paintball. You know, normally when you play the paintball, even I've seen them, they have a group of 4. What are they going to do? How are they going to attack it, right? At least have a strategy. Same thing, no difference from the market. Don't just buta come in now. Oh, this Sifu say that, or my friend say that, or in our trade we say everybody say rocket. Everybody just want to jump in, isn't it? I know when this stock market is going up, everybody want to make money. Everybody want to jump in. But after you jump in, say, hey, maybe this is not the stock that I wanted, isn't it? So have a bit of game plan. No worries. You can do paper trading. Learn a bit more, but make sure during that process of learning, you win. You don't want to win too much, and if you lose, you don't want to lose too much. I might say that process learning is important. That's why this is an intermediate class. All right. So we done the Mudajya. Let's look at Maybulk. Okay, which have the okay. So we done Mudajya about 23% return since 11 November. Let's look at the next one is Maybulk. Okay. So Maybulk we selected on the 11. And Maybulk was this one here, 11 again. Now Maybulk very classic. You can see here, this was the 10 and this was the 11. Okay, so it's like that here. Again, you can see we got a lot of sign of strength here, right? You can see sign of strength in here. Again, volume is going to be very low. Always pay attention to low volume here. Nice base in here. When the green pentagon came that day, right? You can see there's no backing up. You can see volume starts to pick up, and there you go. And that's what you want to be, especially on those penny stocks too. Sometimes for our members' sake and for you guys, I want to pick those smaller stocks, and you see much bigger gain, and that's what we have inside here. So you can see 38 cents taken out. You can see you've got spring. Springs are very good sign of strength. That means the market is recovering for that particular bar, that particular day, and that's what we're talking about. Spring. Take a note. Test is also important, so take note of it. I have this tutorial in here, and you can see the QR code on the top left hand side. You can scan it and watch it more, so you can be familiar with those terms that I'm talking about in here. Or use SMARTRobie in here, and you can just type let me just show you here. Okay, if I remember SOS. Okay, SOS, that's right. You can see here, that's right. Even if you type SOS, let me just change up the screen for you here. You can see, so glad that you asked, line change and so forth. There is a tutorial in there. You can watch all those. Will get you up in speed. All right. The most important is get up in speed when this market start to chabot and run. We want you to start making money, isn't it? If not, at least use the Pentagon guider. Use the premium alert if you're advanced, and use the trending stock like we have. We have very nice forward. Those Pentagon stock, that doesn't mean it doesn't run, but you take a bit more, but you're getting in very early. All right. So this is okay. Yeah. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry said one trade confirm cover back masterclass fee. I think it's not so much on the fee wise. I think more important, we always stressed before, is the knowledge and the maturity. What we call investment maturity. Investment maturity comes from learning from our community, right? Learning to be look at risk first, right? And once you have that, I tell you, the investment and also the time. I think time is important, right? We need to put in the right time to get the right effort, right? But thank you, Jerry, for vowing that one trade can cover back the cost of our masterclass. Thank you. But let's move on to our next. What we have for you in here is okay. Next one is the this week trending stock idea. Okay, first one is Danko, which actually came out from our, and how do I know that? Let me just bring up here, and trending stocks. So you can see trending stock, we got 12 trending stock. Let me switch it over. We got 12 trending stocks in here. We got BJ Food, SLP, Danco, Energy, Deleum. Yeah, Deleum is still running, you know. Maybulk, yeah, we picked Maybulk earlier because you see, once the trending stock trending, it will come out, it will still trend. Right. So sometimes 30% you say, Ayah, why I take profit at 30%? Let it take at 60 lah. But don't be greedy, okay? More importantly, have a plan. Take it 30% or take partial profit, whatever you do. And that's something we also share with you in the masterclass. All right. So, yeah, Mudajya is still in here, okay? So, let's look at Danco Mag. Okay, let's look at Danco Mag. The way to do it is just hit the item 5279. Okay, and you hit on the stock chart in here. So that's what we're looking at, Danco. That's you go. All right, now Danco. Okay, going back to this. So let me just pitch this up and show you again. Again, this is where we talk about it. Okay, this is Danco. And let me just switch over to here. So you can see Danco Mag, and I'm going to bring out the real-time chart so you can see it better since we are talking about intermediate Danco Mag. Okay, just refresh this. There you go. Danco Mag today, no doubt after the trending stock, it has pulled back today 4%, but it's okay. You can buy on the pullback. Okay, buy on the pullback. Again, we'll come back next week to look at it. But what I want to share with you is this. Again, the classic, you can see here, right? The market goes up. You can see green pentagon. But if you have bought a green pentagon, you already, 61 cent. That's what green pentagon always get you ready. 61, very simple. You want to see how much if you've gone into a green pentagon. You just take it around here to here. Oh, already 18 to 17% return already. Okay, that's what we mean. That's what we mean. And you notice even at this junction here, right? Green pentagon. It didn't ask you to go in. You notice that? So you are safe. That's why it's important to follow the green pentagon, right? It is built that way. It has a reason. It doesn't get right 100% of the time, as I said before, but it should get you right at the moment. So this one is quite nice. We'll see it again. Now look at it. Okay, look at just before I go here. You can see, right? Low volume. Again, I got line change. And that's what we want to see in here. This is again, this is our ladies and gentlemen, those of you who came, cluster of closest. COC, that's what we mean here. Okay, COC, again, we will cover one of the very powerful method we always seen. All right, and we are looking to come up with a COC screener for next year. One of our new product release in here and something that we want to do. But we want to get our SMARTRobie out for US for many of you guys, because a SMARTRobie for US, it's one that's gonna, when US market runs, that's a lot of stocks. We are still testing it now, so we are rushing that with our team. And thank you for your support for sharing the SMARTRobie with your friends, and when you share it, you get 200 points for yourself too. I think that's important. So that is the first one, Danco Mag in here. So let's look at another one. Let me just bring this down. It's SLP. SLP, if you want to know, you can also SLP. Let's look at the stock chart in here. Okay, SLP. Again, very classic too. You can see. Let me just pitch it up. Like this is the kind of thing we are looking for, right? You got, you can see in here. You got. Let me just switch this to a bigger screen. You can see, couple of tests, and then line change, and there you go. All right. So let me just bring out the active chart. Now, if you are active investor, you might want to consider our package in here. We do have a special package in here. Yes, we have a special package in here. So there's a number there, 01026697. Those of you who want to subscribe to our plugin, we have a special package for December only. Okay, so let me just bring out SLP for you. Now SLP, yes, you might say, oh, went up, now down 3%, but it's okay. It's just a pullback. Okay, just a pullback in here. The market hasn't it might just close back up. This is usually what we're going to see at the beginning of our, it may just trend sideways for a while, and then we're going to see in here. But very important again, let me just bring it back to this part here. You can see low volume, then you have a line change, right? This market, and it actually came from a very top base 120, coming out a nice base in here. It will build a bit. We'll come back and review this next week if you see a chance. All right. So let me just bring this down, which actually takes me to the next slide where I want to share with you is the setup. Okay, now we just talk about just now the sign of strength and sign of weakness. We didn't have chance to go, so I'll just go through it very quickly. The test, it's important. So you want to see test where test of low volume in here, and of course confirm no supply, which is Zac, my trainer. He's one of the specialists on the no supply. And then here we talk about the 18-day line change, which is the spring in here. Now, how does it look like? This is what you want to. All right, of course, you can always take a picture of this if you want to. We are happy to share our material. And if you look very closely on what you see here on the left-hand side, compare you see on the right-hand side. All right, let me just show you. This is the one. All right, does it look the same? You can see, right? Let me just switch over here. Right, you can see this is where the volume. Can you see this is just before the line change? The volume. Yeah, you can see that is the low volume. Right, so this is what we talked about, the really low volume accumulation. All right, and it's identical what I've showed you on this PowerPoint schematic chart. It's something I drew 10 years ago. That's right, 10 years, and yet this stock that you see, okay, what stock is this? Right, SLP exhibit the same thing. And that's what we're doing. History repeat itself, pattern repeat itself, because why? We know smart money is accumulating this. When they're ready to go, they will move that. I think that's the lesson I want to share with you in our intermediate breakfast show. I hope you like it, and if you do, just give me a thumbs up, right? This is something that we want to share with many of our members and also the public, that, you know, they should be convinced of what they see. And so that way, now let me just try to get a few more comments in here. All right. Okay, let's move on to what we have for you next. Okay, now of course this is the so-called the annotation for things that we talk about, sell-off, uptrust, and so forth. You can look at that, and of course what we talk about is our December intake. Now our December intake, fast filling it. I know we like to do a physical class, but not possible just in 2 weeks time. So if you have decided that this coming December, a Christmas gift you want to give to yourself to learn about the market, and guess what, we are covering also the US market in here, the father of VSA, what Tom had shared with me, what Bill will mind sharing with me about my seafood, and also some fundamental things I will share with you guys too on this coming December intake. For those, for our members, do come back. If you already signed up, you can come back and re-attend this at no charge at all, and we do this every 2 months in here. So one great benefit, and usually we have a bit of change in our syllabus in here, but tonight definitely a treat for all of you, which I say 9:30, myself and my team, we are busy preparing, is our green energy sector review as the rotation to the value accelerates. So make sure you catch me 9:30 tonight, right? We'll talk more about those green sector that we have. And finally, if you're first time to our Trade VSA, do join our best Telegram chat room, free stock market information, all the news that you ever wanted, and also the trading knowledge that will help you in this bull run that we've seen so far. Maybe not for Malaysia yet, but definitely for US. But so that's why we wait, you know, both US and Malaysia. At least you learn both ways and not just complain, hey, KLSE, Tata stock. Can still find, but a bit more difficult. So that's all we have for you. Oh no, sorry, I need to look at some stocks that you have. First one is Inari, because some of you did ask. Let me just bring up Inari. Okay. Okay, I'll switch to a daily chart. Now, if you look at Inari, we have broken through in here. No doubt. If you have, because it has earnings in here, now broken through, but it did stay above. Now the question is, where did you first enter? If you have taken, if you have bought much earlier, take some partial profit, okay? Because this market is going to move sideways. Why I say that is because if you look at Penta, very similar to, once they have the red pentagon, you can see this is what's happening to Penta. It's just going to move like that, right? So take note of it. You want to take some partial profit. It's not going to go straight up. I'll tell you first, okay? But if you broke through the ATR stop loss, you want to exit and move on something, okay? Unless you think Inari is a long-term play on 5G and RF, then you have differently. Again, go back. So the next stock, some of you guys did ask me, right? Let me just go through here. Inari is VDAT, okay? That is Jerry's one, VDAT. I'll look at the weekly chart. Now, VDAT looks pretty, wow, this is a nice chart. This smart money punya, okay? So in here, you can see VDAT going up, a lot of springs inside in here coming up. I need to get the volume in here too. I just can't get the volume. Let me just get the volume here. Somehow my volume chart is missing in here, but never mind. I'll bring up the VDAT. I'll bring up this one here. Okay, I'll bring up the SMARTRobie chart because I'll see the volume here. It's just that the options, I need to insert it. Okay, so you can see the volume in here. Now, do take note, Jerry. You have on the left-hand side, you can see, let me just switch this over. Right, you can see volume are heavy on this side, or volume are heavy on the left-hand side. That tells you smart money is actually holding up this level in here. But do be careful if you break through that ATL stop loss that you see on the left-hand side. You want to exit. Else, I think it's fairly okay. VDAT, it's a construction site, but it's definitely a smart money counters. As the market climb higher that we've seen from 56 cents to 60 cents, it's still pretty okay at this junction in here. This could be, but I think if the budget 2021 get approved, this thing will start moving back. Okay, and that's what we see. Let's look at VDAT for its stock price today. Okay, VDAT stock price is minus 0.8%. I think some of those glove sectors are also facing very, very similar too. All right. So, all right, people, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Unfortunately, I can only review two stocks, Inari. So for Inari, take some partial profit or ready to exit. Else it's just going to move sideways in there as the rotational value comes into play. And that's why we want to look at green energy tonight, whether it is both up to look at or we're going to keep to technology stocks. Okay, maybe you want to look at AirAsia. Having said that, also we look at VDAT, and that is more of a construction stock, if I'm not mistaken, right? Let me look at VDAT. One way you can do it, you can always check the stock fundamentals and go on to the website. So thank you for all. Thank you for your time. So join me tonight at 9:30 for the live Facebook on the green energy sector review, and we'll talk more. See you then. Bye bye.